we are very excited, and I'm very honored to have the moment to introduce to you our service officiant today, Reverend Dr. Reginald Elgin. Reverend Dr. Reginald Elgin is no stranger to the Spiritual Science Fellowship, which the Kindred Spirits Spiritualist Fellowship is based upon. Reverend Dr. Reginald, or Reverend Reg, first met Reverend Dr. Marilyn Rosner and Reverend Dr. John Rosner, founders of the Kssf and IHS, in the late 1980s. And he began to be seen around the Kssf and IHS conferences in Montreal and Canada since then. Reverend Reg has been in ministry with the Methodist Church of the Bahamas for over 40 years and just recently retired also as the Dean of Adult Education at Queen's College in Nassau. He works now with a nonprofit organization, the One Eleuthera Foundation, based in Eleuthera at the Bahamas, as a consultant in leadership development and education. Reverend Reg worked as the youth director for the Methodist Church in the Bahamas, where he pioneered youth camps and youth leadership development in all of the islands of the Bahamas and also the Turks and Caicos Islands. He served as the general secretary to the Bahamas Conference of the Methodist Church for 15 years. In 2008, he was appointed Dean of the Center for Leadership, Education, and Training, and he continued his work as Dean of Adult Education at Queen's College, a Methodist school in Nassau, the Bahamas, until his retirement. Reverend Reg worked for many years in the juvenile justice program in the Bahamas as well. He has mentored scores of youth for leadership in both the church and in the country, leading youth leadership experiences and training programs for many decades. Reverend Reg is also a justice of the peace and a marriage officer for the Commonwealth of Bahamas. In fact, officiating wedding ceremonies is one of his most enjoyable forms of work. In contrast to his ministry with working with marriage ceremonies, he also works in the areas of helping those with death, dying, and grieving and recovery. Kindred Spirits Spiritualist Fellowship is very pleased to welcome Reverend Dr. Reginald, or Reverend Reg, Elgin to our team. It is my honor, and Reg, it truly is my pleasure to have had the opportunity to introduce you today, and so happy to turn this over to you. Lots of
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. It's a joy to be here, and Eileen, what an amazing amount of work you have done in making this happen today. I've been aware of much of that over the last couple days as we worked yesterday for a couple hours trying to make this event work as well. And welcome too to everyone who is joining me. Mikel is my dearest friend and soulmate. We have known each other for years and years. And I think Mikel loves the Bahamas even more than I do. And he was supposed to be here in August, but this COVID-19 will not give us a break. And yes, so we're just waiting for a time when we can meet since Montreal is not going to happen this year. So we have a wonderful service today, a time together. Lots of good things are going to happen. We're going to be blessed immensely, not only by those people who serve on our platform, but also the numbers of people that are joining us, because each of us bring light and energy to this moment, and we are so grateful. So we're going to begin today with prayer, and it's our opening invocation. Invite you now to pray with me and to be quiet before our inner souls and our spirits and guides who are joining us all today. So join with me now. Creator of all, sustainer of everything, guide and liberator. We gather in joyful presence, anxious for encouragement, open to challenge, ready for movement, and hopeful for embrace. We open our hearts, we open our minds, and we swing wide open our arms in anticipation of blessings, messages, and direction. We hold vivid our memories of our mothers, our fathers, our aunts, our uncles, our sisters and our brothers, friends and guides. And we invite those present and those who join us in spirit, teachers, guides, enlighten us. Dear souls, come close to us and unite us in love. We are well. All is well. All will be well. And so it is. And so it is. So thank you very much again. And it's my joy now to share a little bit about this incredible fellowship, Kindred Spirits Spiritualist Fellowship. We will use the acronym KSSF, and that is nothing to do with Kentucky Fried Chicken, KSSF. This is an incredible fellowship that Eileen, Reverend Eileen and Reverend Mikel and Rolando have been people who have started and formed this organization. And so it's a federally incorporated, not-for-profit spiritualist organization based in Canada. We welcome people from all faiths or no specific faith to come together and to celebrate the spirituality, connection to source, and information through our events as this one is today. At the KSSF, we like to explore topics related to spirituality, metaphysics, energy, healing, what is sometimes called the paranormal, along with information for various spiritual religious traditions. At times we may feature special guests, or it is our KSSF members who share. The thing is, we strive to do our best to offer the best we can to our community. The Kindred Spirits Spiritualist Fellowship has its background coming from the Spiritual Science Fellowship of Canada and the International Institute of Integral Human Sciences. Our speaker today, Reverend Mikel, is one of our 5 founding members as the Kindred Spirits Spiritualist Fellowship and also the leader of the ACE-SSF Spiritual Science Fellowship in San Sebastian, Spain. And I will speak more about Reverend Mikel later on. Again, as Reverend Eileen has said, I'm Dr. Reginald, and I'm happy to introduce our platform guests to you, some of whom you may know very well, but nevertheless, I want to tell you a little bit about them and the kind of people and the kind of work that they do. Reverend Eileen is the founding member of the KSSF. She has enjoyed many years of being involved with the Halifax, Nova Scotia chapter of the Spiritual Science Fellowship, whom she is ordained through before moving to Edmonton, Alberta in 2016. This is an incredible woman. This is an incredible spirit. I have had the joy of being with Reverend Eileen at some of the conferences with Dr. Marlon Rosner in Montreal. She has enjoyed working with several spiritual energy healing modalities and is trained as a hypnotherapist. Reverend Eileen has always held a deep respect for the connectedness of humanity through different world religions. She has ties to several faiths, being raised Christian, then becoming a spiritualist in the early 1980s. The work of the SSF and now the Kindred Spirits Spiritualist Fellowship is that of a great love for Reverend Eileen, and her years of dedication come from the special place these organizations create for the community. And again, Reverend Eileen, thank you, thank you, thank you for all that you have done. And Reverend Eileen has led our opening meditation and will also be participating in messages nearer to the end of this experience today. And then we have Reverend David Goodwin, who is going to be sharing with us our principles as well as messages towards the end. Reverend David is a sought-after medium and spiritual advisor with clientele in Canada, the US of A, Australia, and in areas of Europe. He's a natural-born medium who began spontaneously giving readings and practicing the laying on of hands as a child. David began his formal studies of spiritual healing and psychic disciplines in his early teens. He used his skills in support of charitable endeavors to raise funds for a number of community-based organizations, while also reading for private clientele. He is a spiritualist who has studied a number of global faiths and traditions to better understand the diverse ways that healing and mediumship manifests globally. His background is in social education and social services, community health, and disability studies. He's a representative of nonprofit boards, which has led him to become a part of Kssf's board in early 2020. David's primary practices are rooted in spiritual well-being and mediumship, as well as working through tarot cards and readings and energy healing. So, and he's also a Reiki master. David, we have to meet soon. You have to come to Nassau in the Bahamas and do some major work here with us. Maybe we can all gather in Nassau fairly soon. And now I want to introduce Rolando Gonzalez Sosa, and he is going to be participating in towards the end of this service in sharing messages as well. And he is a founding member of the Kindred Spiritualist Fellowship. And like me, he comes from the Caribbean. And he was born and raised in Cuba, where working with spirit is everyday, normal, and natural. He has had mediumship abilities and also has the abilities for vision most of his life. Rolando is a Parlo Moyambi and a deeply shamanic tradition from the Congo. He has received ceremonies in the tradition of Ifa and as an Orsia or Isha in the religious tradition of Lukumi. I told Reverend Eileen that I would have difficulties with pronouncing these, but we are getting through. He also practices spiritismo for much of his life, a form of spiritism often associated with Allan Kardec's work. And now I want to introduce our final person before I introduce our guest speaker for today, and that is Reverend Mikel Hiltz, who will also be sharing in messages with us at the end of this service. Welcome, Mikel. It's good to see you, Reverend Mikel. Reverend Mikel has served on various nonprofit organizations throughout the years. He is a senior minister and leader of the Spiritual Science Fellowship, SSF, Halifax chapter, and has been involved with spiritualism for close to 40 years. As a medium, Reverend Mikel has always been in demand, and he has been a featured guest with the media and worked many, many times in public events. This means that he brings to us today an experience that is extremely varied, with lots of different within lots of different contexts, and has taught in terms of the teaching field of development mediums throughout his time with SSF, with the Halifax Mediumship Development Programs, as an instructor. So not only is Reverend Mikel an incredible medium in our group today, but he is also a trainer of the trainers. He's one of the people who has helped to train these persons who do this work. It's incredible work. So we welcome all of you today. We're glad that you're on the platform here. We're looking forward to you being ready to talk, to share, to be with us. We appreciate your energy, and we are grateful that you are here. So now I want to invite Reverend David to share with us the Kssf Principles. I think that when we're beginning in these early stages, we need to make sure that everybody who's joining us understands who we are, what we're doing, and what we're about, and the principles on which most of our work is founded. And so I invite you now, Reverend David, to share with us at this time.
Hi, everyone. Can you hear me okay? I hope. Reverend Michael is sharing a screen for me so I can focus on reading for you today. The Kssf principles that we all adhere to as part of Kssf are that we believe in infinite, creative, universal intelligence, which we know as God, the highest form of love, power, and wisdom. We believe that the phenomena of nature, both physical and spiritual, are expressions of this infinite intelligence. We affirm that a correct understanding of such expression and living in accordance therewith constitute true spirituality. We affirm that the existence and personal identity of the individual continue after the change called death. We affirm that communication with the so-called dead in a universal communion of saints and spirits is a fact. It is believed in most of the world's higher religions, but experientially shared through mediumship and other psychic and spirit phenomena. We affirm that the practices of clairvoyance, clairaudience, clairsentience, psychometry, aura sensing, spiritual and psychic healing, prophecy, divination, and higher forms of intuition, and communication with the spirit world are both natural human potentials and gifts of the spirit. We believe the morality contained in the Golden Rule, whatsoever ye would that others should do unto you, do ye also unto them. We also believe that forgiveness of others is a divine act opening the door to healing, love, and inner peace. We affirm the moral responsibility of the individual and that we make our own happiness or unhappiness as we obey or disobey nature and its physical and spiritual laws. We acknowledge that God has inspired masters, teachers, prophets, and sages to enlighten and raise the consciousness of people of all races and faiths throughout the ages. We affirm that the doorway to reformation is never closed against any human soul, here or hereafter. Divine grace is freely available to all, regardless of race, religion, ideology. The divine plan includes transformation of consciousness into higher modes of expression on the planet Earth and in the worlds to come. Thank you for being with us today.
Thank you very much, Reverend David. Reverend Eileen, you're going to speak to us now, is that correct? I think that's right. Has Reverend Eileen left us? Yes, there you are, good. Thank you. So Reverend Eileen will be presenting our meditation for today, and it is my pleasure now to invite you to speak to us further. Happy to have him with us. I don't yet see him on screen, but I know he is here somewhere. And Mikel, okay, there you are. So let me tell you a little bit about this incredible human being and this incredible medium and minister. And first of all, let me just say that our greatest times together is when Mikel tries to sing "How Great Thou Art." And we have such a good time. All of my friends love to see. This started one day when he was descending the stairs from his room at my place, and he was happy and just decided that he would grace us with song. And yeah, so that has been Mikel's ongoing gift to us. Usually every time I find a recording of "How Great Thou Art," up until this morning or last night, I sent him one that was being mouthed by a cat, which was not very nice, but yes. Reverend Mikel has traveled all over the world. He is known in Colombia, in Canada, excuse me, in Germany, in the US of A, in the Bahamas, all over Europe, and is actually in demand for not only readings, but also lecturing. He is an author. He has out his first book in the Spanish language, which means I can't read it. He has his own practice in Spain, his hometown, and he is very, very close with Dr. Marilyn Rosner, and has been a featured person at the conferences that have been held at Montreal. Mikel worked with Father John very closely and was not only a protege, but an adopted nephew of both Marilyn and Father John, and has spent years and years studying and refining his gifts, and has been able to be of a great help in healing people who have helping to heal, for people to heal people who have had extreme traumas and who have been working with relationship difficulties and also job difficulties. His insights, his perception, his heart, and his spirit are very incredible, and I'm sure there's other people like this in the world, but he's one of the ones that I happen to know. And so it is a delight to have you here and for you to speak to us today, and then to also do readings. My very first workshop at the Montreal conference was with Reverend Mikel. And in that conference, I had in that workshop, I had some of my biggest breakthroughs where, yes, it was just incredible. And so without further ado, I'm sure many of us who have joined in this program now, I'm sure you know of Mikel, and you probably had sessions with him or lessons or classes with him. But Mikel, it's a pleasure to have you, and we, including me, we are looking forward to hearing you in your presentation now as you share with us at this point. Thank you so much. I think you're muted. I can't hear you.
Now?
There we are. Thank you.
Sorry, everything was plugged in, but somehow Spirit touched something. I had to unplug it and bring it back. I was saying that it's always a delight to be with you and share with you and spend time with you, especially when it's about spirit. I love that. Well, you know, we often begin our services saying, you know, standing up and saying, this is the day the Lord has made. Let us all rejoice and be happy. And truly, today, this moment, the now, is the only thing that we have. Yesterday is history, tomorrow is mystery, but today is a gift. And I had a very shocking and disturbing situation today where I was reminded of that. Enjoy every moment, enjoy every minute. Just to spend time with your friends, spend time with your partner, spend time with your loved ones. Cherish them, nourish them. Don't just text them or send them a WhatsApp. Just be with them and make some time to call them up if you cannot be with them. Because truly, this is only what we have today, the now. And we live in a continuous now. And now we are here and tomorrow we're not here. I'm not saying that anything is going to happen to anyone here tonight, but truly we need to learn to not depend on the past or be projecting ourselves into the future, but rather enjoying the present moment, enjoying the now, enjoying what we have now and what God has given us. Really, when you learn how to look into life differently, you don't make excuses. You don't put things up for later. You don't procrastinate so much because you know that maybe tomorrow we will not be. And a lot of the times I get people, who come for readings and they want to apologize to their loved ones. And often they say things like, I wished I had been able to spend more time with them. I wished I told them this. I wished I had done that for them. And I always say the same, what's gone is gone. And thank God we can learn also how to communicate with spirit. But we really should not believe that we are more than any other people or that we have more time than any other people. Because when we really go out of our way to make this now, this today, a continuous Christmas, a continuous birthday party, we learn that things are different. Spirit loves fun. Spirit loves enjoying and having fun and having a blast. Often they do it also with me. So Spirit doesn't like us when we're doom and gloom or crying over someone who's passed away. And they don't understand that. They want us to be joyful and to be happy and to be, laughing at the top of our lungs. Of course, that when someone leaves, it gives you, you miss their physical presence, and it's heartbreaking, really. But we are not dead, and that is why it's so important to learn about spirit. And when we know that life goes on after the change we call death, and that we never really die, but rather, we move on to different island. We move on to different space, a different living space, and that we can communicate with them, and that they're helping us, guarding us, keeping us. Everything changes, but do what you need to do today. Don't wait for tomorrow. Don't just think that tomorrow may be better than today, because you never know. I was reminded of that today, that you are now here, and here you're enjoying, but tomorrow you may not be here. And what you do for others, it will never haunt you. What you always wanted to do for someone, and you never had the time, you never got the time to do it, or you never got the willingness to do it, will always, always, always follow you. There is no one spirit who comes through and who says, that they wouldn't do things differently. They often, most of them actually, they regret, not having been able to do things differently, or not being able to enjoy life more. And that's what they say they're doing now. I didn't do so much traveling, and now I'm traveling. I didn't kiss you so many times, and now I take this opportunity to kiss you. But it's true that when you're alive in the physical form, things tend to feel different. When it's our time to go, we will see the light and we will look for the light. A lot of the times I hear people say crazy things like, the light is a trap, and the light, it's some kind of scheme where they're going to be using you to come back as cattle again here to the earth, and that people should not go to the light. Please, 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 always go to the light. The soul knows when you get ready to die. The soul knows, innerly the person knows that the time is approaching. They may not know if they have a year, or if they have 2 months, or if they have a day, but they know that a change is coming. And often that's why a lot of people, they change their will, or they change the way they dress, or the things they did, or they make amends with people who, they weren't talking, or they do it on the deathbed as well, because they don't want to bring that. They don't want to bring that energy with them. But they also feel their archangels, their guardian angels, their guides, their loved ones, and they see them often before they die. So those who are there helping us make the transition to the other realm, they are not only right there and then. They come sooner. They pick us up and they help us carry on and move on and make the transition. And then on the other side, it's a little bit like a flight, you know, when you go into this airport here in Bilbao, you have a crew that is welcoming you, and you have a crew also accompanying you to the plane. And then there's another crew that is going to be tending to you while on the plane. And then as you land, you have the immigration officers, you know, you have the very nice stewardess, and you have, let's say, Halifax, another crew. So the same thing happens with the soul. You know, we come with a group of people. Nobody comes alone. Nobody is born alone, and nobody dies alone. We all do it with an entourage. And most of those people, you will know who they are because they're your family members, or they're your friends, or they're those who were meaningful for you. But some others will be your guides that you will not know in the physical self, in the physical form, but you will be able to feel them. Maybe you start singing and you rise up your vibration, and then you know you feel their presence. Or maybe you start meditating or praying and you feel their tingling, their touch, their inspiration. But you can also learn, you know, how to rise up your vibration and get in touch with those more higher vibrations, and to learn how to decode, depict, and in a way download information, because spirit is always there for you. The spirit always wants us to tell us, you know, that they are alive, that they are with us, that they're not dead, and they want to give us evidence of that, and they want to help us make our life easier. Us as humans tend to cry on almost everything, and a lot of people tend to see the glass half empty. So spirit is there to help you understand that the glass is half empty, half full, depending on how you deal with the glass. And depending on how you deal with the glass, the new glasses may come up, and new opportunities may arise, and you start kind of recreating, shaping your own reality. So then when the time comes for you to leave, you will know that is your time to leave. You will know that where to go. You will know where into the light to go and how to proceed. But even if you don't know it, there will be a bunch of people that will be there guiding you. The truth is that a lot of people, both here and on the other side, often regret, you know, that they shouldn't have done that, or they should have acted differently, or they should have behaved in a different way, or maybe they should have done more, they could have done more. And often we have a lot of issues, you know. We tend to think things that may not have been possible at the time for us. But if there is a chance that you could do something today that you haven't done, please do it. Don't live for tomorrow what you could do today, because we only have today. And today is a blessing. Today is the biggest, the most beautiful blessing that we have. And use that today for good. Try to rise up your vibration. Maybe smile to people on the street. Maybe help someone cross on the crosswalk to the other side of the street. Maybe just give a smile to the cashier when you do your groceries. Maybe have a nice good afternoon, or a nice word to the neighbor as you enter the elevator. Try to be present in the moment and enjoy as much as you can, because truly we cannot take our homes, our cars, our bank accounts, our clothing with us. When you go to the other side, nobody's going to ask you how many cars you bought, or how many degrees you have, or how many, you know, piles of money you were able to pile up. But you will be asked, how many hearts did you touch? How many people did you enlighten? How many people did you help inspire? And we do that in the now, in the today, in the continuous today. So that's why I say, again, and that's my mantra, today is a gift. You know, yesterday is a history. Yesterday is a mystery. Tomorrow Sorry, yesterday is history, tomorrow is mystery, and today is a gift. This is the day the Lord has made. Let's all rejoice and be happy.
Thank you. Thank you. What a good message for today. Yes, I know that I understand that quite well. And I have found that time is going so fast. Time moves so quickly now. It's like before we can get rid, like started in the day's already
It's
gone.
true,
There's another day, and there's another day, and then the week is gone, and then it's another week, and yes,
it's alive. All of a sudden, the life is gone.
Yes. Thank you, Reverend Mikel, for the a very practical message.
And everyone, that you can also get your own messages. When you go to bed, before you go to bed, in meditation, just call upon Spirit. Tell them to come and to speak to you in your own unique way.
Absolutely. Yes, and I also wish, as we begin now to close our time together and wrap up, I wish to inform and let everyone know that Reverend Mikel does perform readings, private readings, through his website, www.proofofsurvivalmedium.com. And if you just can't remember all of that and you just Google his name, it will come up. And if, for instance, you want any further information on our website, Kindred Spirits Spiritualist Fellowship, then you can visit our website as well. Thank you. Thanks to everyone who have joined us. We've had throughout this broadcast, we've had over 70 people that I've noticed participating from time to time. And right now we're lodged in at 67. And I want to remind you that you have to do today what you have to do. Don't forget what Reverend Mikel said. Don't put off till tomorrow what should be done today. Thank you for joining us, and now we will have our closing prayer. I invite you now to quiet your minds and to come together as we give thanks, and we close our session in prayer at this time. We give thanks for this time together and to all our guides, angels, and ancestors who have come to be by our side during this time, this afternoon, this evening. As our time of communing with them closes now, they may draw back closer to their own realms, but we know that they are only a thought or a word away when we need them. We move from this place, free to imagine all that is good, peaceful and healing for our world. We call into being light to give us direction, hope to anchor us lovingly, and peace to expand our life of service. We pray for each of us, for the laughter that will heal us, the love that will open our hearts, and the light that will illuminate our paths. And so it is. Thank you for joining with all of us. Thank you to our platform participants, our ministers and mediums who have facilitated this incredible day. Thank you for all of those who have helped to make the Kindred Spirits Spiritualist Fellowship a reality. And thank you for helping to give us such an upliftment to our spirits, and for all those who have participated, given messages. And a special thanks to your friend, my friend, our friend, Reverend Mikel. And please do well and go forward now in peace. Blessings and peace to each and everyone. Thank you.